What's up, family? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Wednesday's topics where we go over questions that subscribers have sent me over the last couple of months. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you don't mind, do me a favor and just hit the like button. That's all I ask. Even if you don't want to subscribe, you just hit the like button. You're here and gone. Appreciate you stopping through. Just do me a favor, hit the like button. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from these Wednesday videos where I'm going over two or three, maybe sometimes four, depending on the time frame. But people say that they have really enjoyed these discussions and these topics. So I want to continue this. It's something that I enjoy doing. And again, these are emails that I have gotten. Some I have responded to, and then some I told I would just respond to this in a video. That's why I'm just putting them together all at one time and making videos out of it. But again, thanks for tuning in. As always, I do appreciate it. Let me also say this. When I go over these topics or anything that I discuss, it's my perspective, but we'll say for entertainment purposes only. We'll put that in asterisk. For entertainment purposes only. So I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a clinical counselor, nothing like that. I'm just giving my perspective on things from 48 years of being around this earth, being close. A lot of people know a lot of people, seen situations, been in situations. I'm just giving my novice perspective, if that makes sense. The first email that I want to cover, a lady said, Professor X, I really appreciate your view on things. So please be honest with me as you are in your videos. How long should a man date a woman before talking marriage? I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 years, and he says he's still not ready for that conversation. I want to say out the gate, I know a lot of people will say that there should be a time frame put on it. I know even some of my subscribers will say it don't take a man that long. They would tell you that they were walking through the airport of Phoenix, Arizona, and their husband seen them all the way across the entire airport building. They was in Spirit Airlines, and he was on the Delta side, and somehow he saw her all the way through the walls and all the way through the corridors, and he knew she was the one, and they ran towards each other. And even though he got a bad back and bad hip, he somehow was able to lift her up in the air and spin her around and around and around like he a ballerina on his tippy toes. And her, even though her hair was tight and nappy, won't have no problem with that, tight little nappy. She didn't think she was gonna see nobody special, so she was just traveling. Her hair just blowing through the wind. They kissing all in the mouth. He asked her to marry her. 3 days later, they've been together 50 years. I know I have subscribers that will say it don't take that long. I will say that those events do happen. I'll say they happen more on the Disney Channel. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying if you looking for that to happen in your life, you better off watching Disney Channel. In real time, there's no set time limit where a man would know or be ready for the conversation. But with that being said, let me say this. 3 years of dating a man is long enough for that man to have seen you through several processes of life. So he sees how you handle stress. He sees how you handle money. He sees how you handle life pressures, career, financial decisions, your job, family, responsibility. He sees how a woman handles herself in those elements. So it's definitely a long enough time. I would say 3 years is long enough for him to know if he wants to marry her or not. But here's what sometimes women have to understand. And I'm going to break this down in two reasons. If he says he's not ready for the marriage conversation, I say to people on my channel all the time, be very clear when you are starting to date someone. Have clear grown folk communications up front. If you know that you want to get married somewhere in the process of your dating, I'm not saying you should say that on the first one or two dates, but somewhere as you all get closer, you should say, I'm not just out here having a good time. My intention is I'm dating for marriage. You need to make that statement. And then from that statement, he will be able to say what either I am too, or that's not something that I'm interested in. But you got to have a conversation early, okay? If you wait and then you waiting on him to bring it up, but y'all never discussed it, then you're going to run into the situation where this lady probably is, where if he says he's not ready to have the conversation, then that tells me either he doesn't want to marry you, because a lot of men may not want to just get married anyway. Let me help you. If this man had a previous marriage that ended very poorly in his eyes, then he is not going to want to necessarily, because he will see that as a failure. No matter how good the relationship is you all have, there's a good chance he probably doesn't want to cross that bridge again. Again, go back to my previous statement. You got to have conversations early. So if he never bring it up, it's a good chance what he's really saying is, I like the relationship as it is, and I don't really feel the need to have to change it to make it something else when it's already working for us. So he can do another 20 years in the way that you guys are set up. He's okay with that. You, on the other hand, are the one that wants to get married. So you're like, hey, it's been 2 years, been 3 years. Why he ain't said nothing? He probably will never say nothing, because in this hypothetical situation, he could have came out of a bad relationship, a bad marriage, and have told himself, this is not something that I want to do again, and I'm not going to feel pressure to do it again. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. If we get married 10 years down the road, fine. 50 down the road, fine. And we don't never get married again, fine. I love her, she love me, we got each other back, we good. Again, you have to always connect back to conversations y'all had early on. If you fail to communicate early on, then you're going to be up for surprises later. Now, it's one thing if he said, I want to get married, I can't wait to get married early on, and then 3 years later, he ain't talking about it. Then he changed his mind and said, well, I thought I did, but I don't really want to no more. Then that means it's about you. If he said he want to do it early on, but then he has changed his tune after the 3 years and he ain't giving you no extra reasons as to why, then that means that he don't want to marry you. But if he never really talked about it at all, and you just have noticed that 3 years have gone by, there's a good chance that he's just comfortable and okay with the relationship the way that it is. So how long should it take a man? I'm not giving you a time frame of how long it should take. I will say that after 3 years, he knows what he knows about you. If he's going to get married, he knows that. So you gotta have a conversation with him. Is this even something that you even plan on doing or want to do, or is there any reasons why you may not want to do it or whatever? And y'all have a conversation about it. The second email, hopefully that helps. The second email I want to cover is a man says, Professor X, been watching your channel for a while. You really help a lot of people. Hopefully you can help me. My girlfriend says she loves me, but she is comfortable while I'm trying to build something, should love be enough for me to stay? Quick answer, no. What's love got to do with it? Right? You heard the song, you seen the movie. What's gonna happen, and I'm gonna keep this one short. What happens when one person is comfortable and the other person is progressive? A lot of people don't think about this. Let me start over. Love is not the issue in this situation. Direction is the issue. It's not love. A lot of people focus on love. You can love, but if you don't share similar values, and if you're not walking in towards the same things, love is not going to be enough. Now, does that make the girlfriend a bad woman? It don't. And her being comfortable with what they have and where they are, does that make her bad? It don't. Does it make him bad, excuse me, for wanting her to want to build where he wants to be? It don't. What makes it bad is that they're not on the same page. So what ends up happening is some point resentment is going to come in on one side or the other. Either the one that wants to build is going to look back at the one that don't, and resentment is going to come in that way, or the one that don't want to build is going to look at the one that wants to build and resent the ambition for the other person. But resentment is coming. Believe that. Resentment is coming. Now, if you're asking, is love enough for you to stay? Remember, love is not the problem. You can love someone, but if you're not compatible, if y'all do not have aligned values, then the relationship is not going to work. So is the direction going the way you would like it to go for you to stay? That's the question that you want to ask. Because eventually the love thing is not gonna be enough. You're gonna resent her because she doesn't want to build as you want to build. You're gonna resent her. You're gonna be mad at yourself for staying. You're gonna be mad at yourself for putting up with stuff that you're gonna be. It's gonna be too much. In a relationship, every time you look at her or vice versa, every time she looks at you, there's gonna be too much going on under the surface. Too much fakery. Too much that's not being said that needs to be said, and the relationship's not gonna work. So if she wants to, you want to know, is love enough for you to stay? If she chooses to evolve with the plan that you have based, because what you're looking for is a partner. If she chooses to evolve to be your partner in the capacity that you need her to be, which is to join with you and build, then stay. But you can't force her to be something she's not. So if she chooses to stand still, let her stand still. You don't have to stay there with her. Right? If y'all have conversations and she chooses, I don't want to do nothing more than what I'm doing. I'm happy with what we have. I'm good where we at, and you know that won't work for you. Don't be mad at her. Whatever. Just you gotta let her stay. But if she's willing to evolve, then you can stay. Because you're looking for a partner. So hopefully that helps. If she don't want to move, she want to stay stuck. You can't let her stay, but you can't stay. But if she's willing to evolve, you're looking for a partner and she's willing to get on board with what you got going on, then y'all can stay and hopefully have a good relationship. Hopefully this helps. See y'all in the next video. Bye.